You ever forget you've been doing this for 3 years? As you are no doubt aware, today is not March 30th, but if we pretend that it is, then today is officially the 3rd anniversary of Rawk. What the hell? If you had told me on March 30th, 2020 that this show would have been going on for over 3 years, I wouldn't have believed you. So yeah, it's tradition at this point. On the 1st anniversary of Rawk, I made a video about the 1st anniversary of Rawk. On the 2nd anniversary of Rawk, I made a video on the 2nd anniversary of Rawk. And on the 3rd anniversary of Rawk, I did it late. The 3rd year of this show has been absolutely insane. So much has changed and evolved, and so many cool things have happened, that there's honestly just a lot to discuss. So let's do just that. I think I'm going to start off by talking about the general output of videos over the last year, which Season 3 was a 40 episode season, which is just absolutely insane to think about. Currently Season 4 has been going for 7 episodes, and the thought of having 33 more to do this year, no. I have absolutely no idea how I was able to maintain any sort of consistency and quality and also release 40 episodes while also being a full-time student and having this just as a hobby. I have no idea how I managed to do that, but I did it, and damn it, I am proud. But do not expect 40 episodes this year. If it happens, fine. I'm not gonna complain, but if it doesn't, don't be surprised. I'm gonna end up sounding like a broken record, but the quality of the content that I've been putting out this year compared to years previous it's just insane, the difference in everything, to be honest. I think the writing has got better, the editing definitely has got better, and I think my overall performance of, the script and everything has significantly improved. I know that's only natural if you're going to be doing something for as long as I've been doing this, but it's still really cool to see my own improvement, and yeah, I think that's really cool. In terms of big projects that happened in the past year, we had the Halloween special, Video Game Betas, which was by far it's the best Halloween special by far, which, granted, isn't saying much, but I just had so much fun making that video. I definitely went for a bit more of a serious tone with my voiceover, and I did some more experimental editing, and also just the subject of the video was really, really cool to me. So yeah, I really enjoyed that one. It was a bitch to edit, but it was definitely worth it. I absolutely loved that video. And of course, the elephant in the room, I had my 100th episode. 3 digits of Rawk. That's insane. Forces to be reckoned with is by far the biggest undertaking I've ever taken on in my life, to be perfectly honest. The scripting for that episode began before episode 1 came out. I decided very early on that, I don't like Sonic Forces much. Wouldn't it be fun to do a review talking about how much I don't like it? And then I was like, well, maybe, if this show ever gets to 100 episodes, that could be like the big 100 episode special. I think I maybe even thought of it being like the series finale at one point. So I was just like, I don't know if I had any of the lines that were in the final episode scripted by then, but I at least had the core concept of like, oh, I don't like this game, be forced to play it, be angry, and that idea being kind of presented so early on is the reason that from the very first episode, I made jokes so very often about just hating Sonic Forces. And that was kind of supposed to give away, like, ooh, something big's gonna happen with this game. I don't know if it ever actually did that, but that was the reason for all of those jokes. I mean, I actually ended up teasing a Sonic Forces episode in, like, what, episode 21? The Mario 64 DS review? Or was it the 3D Land one? Yeah, it was one of those two. I have just no idea why I teased that so early on. Because it would take a long time to actually amount to anything. But the idea was there, I guess. But yeah, Forces to be Reckoned With is... I'd probably go as far as to say it's my magnum opus. The whole point of that episode, for me, was to kind of encompass every aspect of me as a creative. You know, I've always made the game reviews, so obviously there was an aspect of that there. Not only did I have the song in Retro Gaming Christmas, but also I was a part of a choir for a good 6 or 7 years, so I feel like that's as much as it may not be nowadays, singing and, you know, to some extent songwriting is a pretty big part of my life and me as a creative person, so definitely wanted to incorporate that. I've always enjoyed telling a story, and I feel like Forces to be Reckoned With was definitely the most story-heavy episode of Rawk. And then, of course, the stop motion. I did all that myself. I did initially reach out to an animator just for help, because the plan was always to do the Mario bit on my own. Because I used to do a lot of stop motion just with Mario figures, and I used to try and do like Smash Brothers stop motions. They weren't great, but that's the end of the sentence. But you know, I still feel like in a way that is a big part of my past, the stop motion creation. So at the very least, I wanted to do the Mario bit on my own, and then I reached out to a stop motion animator, and to be perfectly honest, I couldn't afford it. So I found a way to make it work on my own, and I am just so proud of the end product. And I hope that people enjoyed it, because I did. So yeah, Forces to be Reckoned With is kind of the definitive episode, if you will. It fully encompasses every aspect of my creative history, all in one project, and I'm really proud of that. And I personally think the episode turned out near enough perfectly to how I imagined it. There's probably a couple of minor issues I have with it, but on the whole, it's perfect to me, at least. A lot has changed this year. A lot of it has been a lot more recently, namely being the fact that I got a new camera. My previous camera claimed to... I'm just looking at it. It's a part of the set now. It claimed to output at 720p. I think it lied. And just when I finally got a grip on using the new camera, it was just night and day, and it made the old videos look really bad. So yeah, I did make an investment in the visual quality of the videos, and I also made an investment in a mortgage. Yes, I moved house. Does that have anything to do with the channel? No. No, it doesn't. But it does have a big effect on it, I think. Obviously, I've got the new set. It's still very echoey. I'm still working on soundproofing the office. I've bought so much Gorilla Tape. It's not funny at all. It's like £5.50 for one roll that only ends up like being used for 3 or 4 panels of foam. That I'm being robbed. But having the extra space, I feel, has really helped in the production of each episode. And I also think it's improving the quality of the episodes. I mean, a lot of that probably has to do with the fact that I've got the new camera and I have like a little turntable to do the cool spinny shots. But yeah, I think the move only means good things for the channel, I think. I also finally invested in some lighting. For the longest time, for the beginning of the series, I just used my main room light and that was it. And then I think the Super Mario Galaxy episode was where I got like just a little desk lamp that was fully adjustable, and I just pointed that at my face. It wasn't good, but it somewhat sufficed. But now I have actual proper lighting. It's still not the greatest in the world. I recognize that. It wasn't very expensive. But it works for what I need it to be. And without it, I don't know how videos would look in this new house, because the lighting in this room is not great. I also am editing on a PC now rather than a laptop, and I have a triple monitor setup like all of the cool kids do. And I'll be honest, the PC does struggle with using all 3 monitors, but it's fine. I think it's definitely improving my efficiency with making episodes. As much as the PC does struggle a little bit with having Chrome open on one monitor, Vegas open on middle monitor, and then the preview window enlarged onto the third monitor, it definitely doesn't tank even a fraction of the amount that the laptop did just running Vegas. So yeah, it's definitely helping improve workflow, which I think is only a good thing, and I think if you disagree, you're wrong. So what else has been going on this year? Well, obviously I have continued to work with Alan, which has just been such a pleasure. He created 4? Was it 4? Wow, I'm bad. Switch it up. Intro, battle, reprise. Yeah, Alan made 4 songs for the for Forces to be Reckoned With, and just once again, fantastic work. I cannot thank Alan enough. And if you're watching this, thank you so much for the incredible work that you continue to do for my show. I can't thank you enough. That episode truly wouldn't be what it is without you. And I really appreciate that. I also worked with Evan French again for a couple of posters, which is something I've always wanted to do. The Retro Gaming Christmas poster, I made a mock-up of that probably in January, like the January after that episode released. And I was just like, yeah, I'll probably post this. It looks kind of cool. And then the idea came around to commission Evan to make a poster for episode 100. And then I decided, well, why not? Why not get this Retro Gaming Christmas design turned into an actual poster that looks good instead of just low resolution cutouts from the episode. I'll probably post those mock-ups one day, but today is not that day. I also continued to have guests on my channel. The McMick project finally was able to come to fruition. I know when I talked about McMick being in Retro Gaming Christmas last year, I mentioned, the whole process of that happening, but actually, I was lying. McMick initially reached out to me to do a full-on collaboration, which ended up being Localization Lunacy Round 2, as well as translation errors over on his channel. But just due to the sheer scope of the project, it ended up not coming to fruition until, October? November last year? And that's just because a full-scale collaboration like that, it's a lot of work, especially because we were trying to kind of connect the narrative, if you will, of both episodes in a natural-feeling way. So it just ended up that his voice cameo in Retro Gaming Christmas was what came first. But yeah, I, once again, so honoured to work with Mick, and I think both episodes turned out really, really, really well. Like, pretty much as well as we could have hoped. And yeah, I'm just so happy that I got to do that. I also somehow managed to have the one, the only Friesen Factor cameo in the Super Mario Bros. Episode, which that's just insane. That's just crazy talk. But yeah, that happened. Brandon has just the best voice. I really wish I had have, kind of made a bigger role for him, just so I could hear that voice more. It's great. But that is not all when it comes to cameos and collaborations, because guess what I started doing? Yeah, I don't know how this ended up happening, but I ended up cameoing in a fair few videos on other channels. I think the first person to reach out to me to do this was Leo64, just to appear in his review of the original Super Mario Bros. Movie. And once that had happened, alongside the McMick collaboration, I guess that just opened the floodgates, and I've appeared in a fair few videos by other smaller creators, and honestly, that might be my favourite part of the year. It is just so much fun appearing in other people's videos and, helping bring their work to life, like their words, and just to interact with and work with so many cool and talented people. It's so much fun. And obviously I only made short appearances in these videos, and that's all it was ever meant to be. But even just reading a couple of lines into a camera for somebody else, it's just such a fun process. And getting to be in different styles of videos is really, really cool to me. Everyone has their own creative voice and their way of editing and presenting, and to be a part of so many different kind of styles and formats, that's incredibly cool to me. So to each and every person who has reached out for me to be in a video of yours, thank you so much. It's been such a cool pleasure. It's been great. Speaking of really cool pleasures, under normal circumstances I probably wouldn't have talked about this, because technically the video in question came out the day after the 3rd anniversary, but you know what? I worked on it before the 3rd anniversary, so I'm gonna talk about it. I ended up doing some editing work for Edic. What is my life? To sum it up, basically Edic, Eddie Bowley, who some of you may know from his own channel, obviously, but also he appears a lot in Tom Scar's comedy sketches. He's part of Turbo Punch Media. On Twitter, he reached out for video editors, and I was like, well, I don't have a video editing reel, but Eddie's cool. So I quickly threw one together, sent it to him, and yeah, I ended up doing, I think, 4 different segments of his April Fool's video, which that was an incredible honor to be able to work with Eddie in that way. And it was also a pretty surreal experience editing someone else's, editing a part of someone else's video, because obviously when I'm writing and recording my own videos, I kind of have a vision in mind for how the editing's gonna take shape. But to be able to bring someone else's ideas to fruition was really cool. And I'd never considered myself as an editor for someone else, but I don't know, it was really fun, so maybe that could be something for me to look into in the future. I have rambled for a long time. So I usually do my favorite episode of the past year. I don't think that I really need to say which one is my favorite. It's obviously episode 100. I think that even though I'm super excited for this year's Christmas special, I don't know if any episode will ever eclipse episode 100. I'll certainly try, but for all the reasons I've already listed, episode 100 is just really, really special to me. And I don't know if anything will ever be better than that, per se. But that doesn't mean there aren't any close contenders. I don't really know why, but I really enjoyed working on the Super Mario Brothers episode. I don't know, just the section at the beginning where I was kind of recapping what led to the development of Super Mario Brothers and the edits I was doing there. I just had a bunch of fun with that, and the same is kind of true of the Donkey Kong Country episode, which is probably also a close contender. I've also really enjoyed all of the episodes I've made this year. The Nintendo in 2022 review was it was certainly a task to edit. My first ever feature-length episode, coming in at 1 hour and 25 minutes. Who knew I had that many opinions? Oh wait, I did. I definitely did. But yeah, the Luigi's Mansion episode is also quite a favorite of mine, I guess. But yeah, as always, I'm super proud of the beginning of this season. I think we're off to a really good start, especially with the haircut, because, fun fact, that video was written in half an hour about 1.5 years ago, and it was cool to finally be able to make that episode, which I almost didn't get to do this year because of scheduling conflicts, but me and the boys found a way, damn it. Whoa, I've just realized, I didn't talk about the new addition to the cast this year. He fits in so well, so naturally, that I actually forgot that he wasn't a part of the series before now. My good friend Evan is now a part of the Rawk cinematic universe, if you will. He is Troy Prostitute, and that character was only introduced in June of last year. He hasn't even been around for 1 year. That's insane. Yeah, Evan, just like Kevin and Ryan, is someone I've been friends with for just so many years at this point, and to be able to work with him on this channel, alongside, again, Kevin and Ryan, it's just so much fun. And you've probably seen the bloopers for house parties. I still have yet to make the bloopers for the bachelor party and Tetris 99 and the haircut, but we just have so much fun making these stupid videos. So yeah, I'm just so happy to have Evan join the cast, if you will. And again, to be able to work with such close friends on projects like this, it's just a blast. So guys, if you're watching this, thank you all so very much. The episodes you're in truly would not be the same without you. I mean, I could have cast other people, but no one else wanted to. No, all joking aside though, the performances you guys have been just incredible, and bringing my scripts to life in the way that you do, it's really cool, and you all did such an amazing job. So thank you. So I think I'll end this off by kind of teasing some future plans. As I've already stated, there's no video this Monday. Sad about that, but it is what it is. Roughly, that video is 21 minutes long, somewhere around there, so have fun with that. But in terms of bigger plans for the rest of the year, obviously I have a Halloween special planned. I think it's gonna be really cool. And I also have the Christmas special planned, and this one's been planned for quite a while, and let's just say it has some interesting implications for the future of the series. So, look forward to that. I'm not going to spoil too much, but it shakes up what could potentially be video topics in the future, and I'll leave it at that. However, I think potentially the most exciting project, maybe, I don't know, is the beginning of a new sub-series, which I'm really excited about, but also really nervous about. So, yeah, I don't know how much I want to say about this, but it's still a part of the Rawk series, it's still just a regular episode of Rawk, but it's a series where I get to kind of talk about more than video games, and I think it's best left at that. But the plan is for the first episode of that series to release in October. Why am I doing it in the same month as the Halloween special? Because I hate myself. I'm still, trying to figure out how thoroughly different I want it to be from the standard video game episodes. I don't know whether I want to keep kind of the same format, or if I want to just completely change the whole way that those episodes are presented to kind of help differentiate them from the regular stuff. I don't know. I still haven't fully figured that one out, but I'm super excited for that series, and there's a lot that I hope to do with that. It'll probably be a once a year series, just because I'm commissioning music for them, I'm making intros for them, I'm commissioning art for them. So it's a big exciting process, but it's definitely going to be quite the undertaking. So please be patient with episodes in that series, but also please be excited. I really hope it's something that you all end up enjoying, because I'm really excited about it. So yeah, that is pretty much the third year of Rawk in a nutshell. I'm super happy with everything I've put out in this past year, and I'm also super happy with the significant amount of growth the channel has had in that time. Was I still at double digits last time? I might have been at double digits last time, and I'm now nearing 600, which, again, in the grand scheme of YouTube, that's nothing, but for me, that's everything. That's just insane. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you to every single one of you that watches, that likes, that comments, that subscribes, that just, you know, the typical YouTuber thing to thank people for. I sincerely mean it. You know, to have such positive reactions to this series that I've put my heart and soul and so much time and effort into over the past 3 years. It really means a lot. And yeah, I just wanted to thank each and every one of you as sincerely as I can. And in terms of the 4 Years of Rawk retrospective, I will see you 4 months after I was supposed to make that video.